11:01. Um, there's three of us present. Malcolm McNabb, can you hear me?
Yes.
Tom Dixon?
Here.
Okay. I don't think there are any changes to the agenda, so we'll accept that and no announcements. So we will move to the request for renewal of the annual licensing categories. Amy Baxter?
Thank you very much. Um, that time of year, we're doing renewals. We're starting off with sorry, starting off with renewal of business licenses. Our general business licenses to include things. Um, did I? Sorry, I thought I talked over someone. Common vicular, food, entertainment, motor vehicle sales, rentals, mobile food units, flower, produce, shellfish vendors. Now we're just starting that process. The lists are what exist. They may change. We'll bring forth final renewals as they are completed. This will start the process. A couple of considerations as we do renewals. As usual, this is allows for the process to begin. It doesn't issue the licenses until the final steps are completed. Things such as entertainment licenses, we would be required to, we can't make any changes in this process to license. If there's any issues or conditions that need to be considered, we'd have to set a separate hearing for that. Except for local licenses generally do not have the same statutory restrictions. And the reason I wanted to kind of address this here, the third point in the AIS, I discussed that where certainly you can make changes for certain licenses, local licenses, and a licensee can certainly come back to the board and request a hearing. What I'd like to point out in these renewal lists is the rental car agency list. Every year, as you know, we give you the list of the rental agencies, the medallions that are assigned to each agency and the ones issued each year. As I say, medallion is issued upon receipt of a valid car registration that they will be using for a rental vehicle. Year after year, we do highlight that at least over 100 medallions are not used, specifically by Hertz Rent-A-Car. I'm making a recommendation as we go through this process, as we have for the past few years, that we finally maybe address this in the bylaw. It does allow for the select board to determine whether you want to reissue, retire those medallions. So we'd like to address that and possibly do so at the January or February licensing meeting. So I'm making that recommendation in addition to asking for a motion to approve renewals for licenses. And I'll take any questions on that.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, motion?
Could you repeat the motion, the suggested motion, please?
Yes, sir. I am suggesting a motion to approve renewal of the licenses as allowed by right pending completion of all required inspections and submission of fees and permits. In addition, setting a future date to discuss unused rental car medallions.
I'll make that motion, Madam Chair,
Thank you.
as outlined by Amy.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
on Hill Eye, that carries unanimously. And next up, we have the request for renewal of the annual liquor licenses.
Yes, thank you. So liquor licenses, as you know, we do this separately. Acting as the licensing authority for the town, the select board must vote to renew existing liquor licenses on an annual basis. Without exception, all annual alcoholic beverage licenses are required to renew their beverages licenses by November 30th of each year. And just to note, this is for those that are considered annual licenses. Seasonal liquor licenses, which are approved from April 1st to January 15th, will be renewed in the month of March and are not included on this list. A couple of things. For the motion to approve renewal of the attached list, there are 55 annual liquor licenses we are requesting to be renewed. Couple of notes. Fairgrounds will renew the license they have in order to allow the transfer of the license that was approved by this board in November and is currently under review by the ABCC. Secondly, we put some conditions on some folks on renewal. Backyard Barbecue must file a change of manager by next licensing meeting. That's been something that needs to be done the past year. Charlie Noble must inform licensing of their intent to file either multiple amendments application or transfer application with a timeline for submission and resuming operations. The license has been non-operational for over a year. They have been somewhat in contact with me, but I put that condition on that moves along. And then the following licenses, I've just put on notice that we may discuss requiring to switch them to seasonals, as they've been fully closed from the off period of January 15th to April 1st, or the Whale, Club Car, and several other licenses. As you know, we have approved in the past those that close for more than 60 days pay the seasonal fee, which is more. If it continued for several years, we would discuss them being seasonal full-time. So those are underway. And that's there. We're going to start asking folks to obviously report their closure so that we can report that to you for the off season. So the motion to approve the 55 licenses, also to approve non-renewal, the following two licenses. Un Altro LLC, which is DBA The Corner Table and Culinary Center. They surrendered and will not renew, and we will be hearing a license for a new license application further in this meeting for that license that's being surrendered. Secondly, Sushi Sean, 1111 LLC, DBA Sushi Sean, they failed to renew in the month of November. Therefore, he has been noticed that his license will expire on December 31st. He must go through the application process for a new license to continue to operate for a liquor license by law. So those are the two. I'll take any questions on that. I'm good.
Questions?
No questions.
I'd make a motion to approve the 55 renewals and minding Amy's comments, the licensing administrator's comments on the two non-renewals.
I will second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor by roll call? Tom Dixon?
Aye.
Oh, sorry, there's somebody, can we hold that for just a minute? Someone has their hand up. Adam Salmon?
He might be for the, hold on, other.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
finish the vote. Okay, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously.
Yes.
Adam Salmon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It was an accident. Sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Okay. So seasonal population, right? Okay. So every year, as a seasonal location, we have to vote on the estimated seasonal population of Nantucket as of July 10th of each year. The estimated population is a basis to set the seasonal package store license quota, as I explained in the attached quota documents. As we've done since 2019, we've estimated it at 45,000. We have that data Nantucket report from 2017 and 2022 as a basis. We can certainly discuss having that updated, but the number can be kept at that number if we do not see any need to increase the number of package stores that we have. That's certainly something you can consider. We currently have one available. The green did not properly renew last year. We missed it at the time, so we're going to non-renew it this year. So technically we will have one available under the 9 that are allowed currently under seasonal. The annual liquor licenses for package stores is the once every 10 years population census, so that's not considered in this vote. So the recommendation is to keep it at 45,000 unless the board sees a need to increase that number. Every 5,000, you get one more license for every 5,000 population. So I'll take the question there. The motion would be to recommend population be 45,000 or a change as the board wishes.
Any thoughts, comments?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question.
Yeah.
Again, could you just review how you get that number? Because my sense
Yes.
of just walking around, that this was a significant increase this year. That's my opinion. That's just what I feel, but I have no quantitative reason to say that.
Yes, sir. I would agree too. The only data I have is the data I'm using. We would have to, you know, sponsor or, set off some sort of study. This was based on cell phone usage. And speaking with the state too and how this is done, you can certainly keep it at a conservative estimate based on the number of package stores. If you feel there's a need that the increase in population needs more package stores, then you can consider, an increase. I have no other data to go off of currently. So yeah, no, I would agree. It's certain weekends, it certainly feels like a lot more. That was
Yes.
based on people really staying over and, the cell phone usage that was staying overnight, things of that sort. So you certainly, it's under your purview to discuss maybe trying to get more data, and or, keeping a conservative estimate based on, what you think is the community
I'm sure
needs.
I think we have enough package stores right now. You'd have to have a good reason to increase them based on something more than just Malcolm McNabb walking around the island.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I might be somewhat inclined to think that 50 would be a better number, but I think that we should hold for this year and try and gather better data for next year.
Okay.
More updated, because then we'll be 5 years since 2001.
Right.
Tom,
Madam Chair, I would make a motion to approve the seasonal population estimate per staff recommendation at 45,000.
is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Ann Hill, aye, that carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Next up. Sorry, going back. This is for Verizon.
Yes, the person from Verizon is having trouble logging in. So I'm having NCTV resend them the link. So could we hold off on this for a minute?
I do have Lila from Verizon on.
She is doing a different one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yes, thank
The
you.
guy that's trying to sign in is specific to the small cells.
Okay, so let's jump to public hearings. We have a public hearing to consider a new common vic license with an annual all alcoholic beverage restaurant license for 700 by 800 LLC DBA Cafe 22 Jonas Baker at 22 Federal Street. I'll open the public hearing. Amy?
I may ask you go to the others. I'm getting a text from Jonas. He's in North Carolina. I'm not sure why he's not.
And I don't have any reps from National Grid on. I'm trying to email them to ask, how about if we do Verizon?
Can you do that? I don't know why he's not on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm jumping to number 9?
Sorry, can we hold off on number 1 and jump to number 9?
Okay, we'll pause
Sorry.
number 1 and jump to number 9, which is a Verizon petition for 22 Pleasant Street. I'll open the public hearing.
So we've got Lila Lucia.
Hi, yes, I'm
Verizon
here.
to represent this.
Yes, I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any. Essentially, this is a pole relocation for an existing pole. that is placed there in front of the property of 22 Pleasant Street due to their driveway expansion or relocation. Yes, so I'm happy to answer if there are any public comments.
Any
Can I-
questions?
Can I just note one thing? This is also tied to a utility petition further up on the agenda, number 3, that National Grid has. This has been pending for quite some time. I would say that this would be recommended to be approved from our office. Thank you.
Okay, Sam Wilson has his hand up. Is it for
I
this
think
one?
it might be the same person as before. I mean, I can allow them to talk and see.
Yeah. Sam
Sam
Wilson?
Wilson?
Yeah, sorry, Sam. It's a little bit noisy. I'm in university right now. We can speak later. Okay, I'm in university.
Okay. He just changed his name. I removed him. That's
Okay,
not.
thank you. Okay, I don't think that there's anyone else wanting to speak on this. Do we want to make a motion to close the public hearing?
So move, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Tom Hill, aye, that carries unanimously. And do we have a motion to approve this based on staff recommendation?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Tom Hill, aye, that carries unanimously. Can we move to number 10?
Mhm.
1 Main Street to 2 Center Street.
Yes, I'm covering for this one as well. Essentially, this is to make connection from the existing Verizon Wireless small cell antenna that is on the corner of Liberty and India Street. There's cabling that runs down India Street and down to the manhole in front of the church. So Verizon is proposing to go from that manhole and make the connection to manhole 1106, which is at the intersection of Main Street and Center Street.
Okay. Any questions? There's no attendees, so I don't think there's anyone wanting to speak on this public hearing.
Seeing none, Madam Chair, motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Tom Hill, aye, that carries unanimously. Is there a motion to approve?
So move, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Tom Hill, aye, that carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, so what else are we ready to do now?
Can you just give me 1 second?
Yep.
Or Amy, are you good to start with Jonas?
I can start. He thought it said Tuesdays. I think he just got to North Carolina. He's hopping on right now. So he should be coming. I could start and just have him address if you would like. I think we know Jonas, so I think we're good there.
Can we just
We're
have Don formally reopen the?
Back on number 1, with an open public hearing.
Okay. All right, so we are here for a new annual common vicular with restaurant all alcoholic beverage liquor license application, 700 by 800 LLC. The DBA would be Cafe 22 at 22 Federal Street with Jonas Baker as manager. Previously today, we just did a non-renewal for the former liquor license holder at this location and common vic holder at this location. They are ceasing operations, and then we chose in this instance, we didn't have to do a transfer. There's no purchase and sale and other things that are required. And since we don't have a quota, we can easily do a new license. So that's why that decision was made in this instance. They are looking to do the same types of licenses. I think he has some new ideas on some things he's going to do, but it's generally going to be the same again as this was is a new license, the usual considerations here, appropriateness at a location. Obviously, this has been a location for liquor, special events for over 10 years. We have a number of existing dispensaries in town. Views inhabitants, I have not received any comments on this. It's not a new location, so no issues of traffic, noise, and size, and sort of operation that carries the license. Jonas Baker, as we know, has owned and managed multiple Nantucket restaurants for over 2 decades, so we feel confident in his management for that. So a couple things, let me just review my notes for that. We talked about new versus transfer. One addition here is that Jonas is asking for ability to have alcohol service for events on the patio and for service on the patio. Previously, in the current Planning Board ZBA review, very specifically said that there would be no alcohol for sale in the cafe, which is in the basement lower level on the premises. And I think, you know, he is certainly looking to keep that as well. However, the patio is often used with the cafe for seating and things of that sort. So I advised that not only would we obviously need select board specific approval for that, he would need to go back to see if planning board ZBA needed review for that specific. It's little, I'm not sure if that's going to be needed. So he is in that process as well. So you can review this, determine conditions, and that if liquor should be allowed on that patio on the condition that final review by the ZBA, if required, goes through. So any condition that they put on would remain. So you can review and approve on a conditional basis. So I think that is it. So the liquor license premises would be the upper 2 floors and the patio area. And it looks like he is signing in now.
Hey, I'm sorry, guys. I'm having trouble with my Zoom on my laptop.
That's okay.
Here you, Jonas. Did you want to add anything?
No, I actually, I apologize. I thought I had my sign lined up for yes for tomorrow, and I thought this was tomorrow too, so I apologize. No, what do you guys need from me to review to make sure that I'm compliant and then you guys understand what I'm trying to do?
May I ask through you, Madam Chair, that I just wanted Jonas to confirm. I just did a review of the whole process and the liquor license, Jonas, and one thing I'd like you to clarify is I was discussing that I needed you to review with ZBA or planning if you needed to do any changes to that permit for liquor service on the patio. If you can just describe what your intentions are and your plan are for operations, especially including the liquor license, that would be great.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate you hanging in and let me hop on. So I'm not looking to do anything crazy at all. What I am trying to do is boost the middle floor, which is kind of, or we call it first floor. There's the cafe, which will not have any alcohol service or alcohol permitted down in there. What I would like to do is in the afternoon, after I'm done with my meal service and all that stuff, is semi-do an afternoon thing from like 4 till 9, possibly even 5 till 9 or 9:30. And what I want to do is have limited, as in very limited, menu, like 7, 8 items, where it was a charcuterie board, or you could get a tuna poke. And it was more of a casual, relaxed atmosphere. That's not a bar. It would be service, you know, via someone who's certified. And like I said, I just want to expand that 4 o'clock till 5 o'clock hour. And it would be not even heavy. It would be more of like wine, Aperol spritz, some beers, where people could almost do like Ethos and come for like an afternoon snack. And I've been in the restaurant business a long time. I have no intention of being open past 9:30, 10 o'clock. So that's the long and short of it. You know, and that's all I am. I am looking for the approval for the liquor for the first floor and the second floor, because I do plan on doing a lot of stuff with the community, like giving away the space to charities that need it. And then we would work on some sort of, you know, plan where we would do the food for them, and that's kind of how we would balance what we're doing there. But like I said, I have no intention of running a full-scale bar. It's more like limited, you know, table service. But then in the summer, when it would be like a 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. So if anybody has any questions on that, I can, you know, it's something I've just been thinking about that could expand that little corner a little bit. And the patio is so nice. So if anybody has any questions.
Questions, comments?
Yeah,
It's been,
go ahead, Malcolm.
yes, and the patio, do you anticipate music or entertainment or just a little food and wine?
No, that's the entertainment license is basically so that if someone had a guitar or something inside, I have no intentions of really doing anything on the exterior as far as that goes. Maybe one, like those speaker rocks, but other than that, it's about enjoying the time with your friends. So that's my goal. Is you're coming there, you went to the beach, you came over, you had a little something, then you go home with your family or do whatever. So no, there's no intention of bands or the entertainment license really, live entertainment being on the patio at all.
Thank you.
Okay, this is a public hearing. I don't see any other attendees. Do we want to close the public hearing?
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yep.
Amy, will you confirm, did I hear you correctly, that the license the applicant is seeking is exactly the besides the patio, exactly the same as what the corner table had with all floors, correct?
That is correct. The cafe is excluded. The cafe area is excluded. So adding the patio specifically is the only change.
Okay. I'm a little hesitant to approve conditionally without the ZBA looking at whether it needs special permit, but it doesn't sound like it's that onerous or large of a burden, or excuse me, it doesn't seem like it's that big a change. So if my fellow board members feel that that's reasonable and is something that's been done in the past with this kind of change or addition to the license, I'm okay with that.
Erica?
I talked to Amy on Friday about the entertainment license and how there would be no change, but the entertainment license currently says indoor entertainment only. It doesn't mention anything about the patio.
Oh, that's Erica, that's fine. That's what I want, exactly what they had. If there's no speakers, no anything outside, I'm totally fine with that. I'm not looking to dismantle anything or do anything like that. And like I said, this is something I've got a lot ahead of me to really get the cafe back to where it needs to be on the food side anyway. It was more about trying to wrap this up in one meeting, but however you guys want to proceed, I'm fine with it either way.
Yeah, I didn't want to touch that until the next hearing since we aren't doing entertainment in this hearing. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So move, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. What's the pleasure?
I have no problem with expanding service to the patio as long as there's no music or entertainment out there.
Okay. Is that a motion?
That's a motion, Madam Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Pending ZBA approval, of course.
Yes. All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. And we'll move on to the entertainment, but just hold for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Hey, Jonah, stick with us just for 2 more minutes.
No, that's fine. I apologize. Like I said, I'm having
Okay.
troubles. I'm not technologically advanced, which unfortunately I'm going to have to do.
No worries. Ooh.
Okay, I'm back. Open the entertainment license hearing.
Thank you. So we are doing a hearing for the entertainment license again for 700 by 800 LLC Cafe 22. As we had in previous discussion, we're looking to license the premises, indoor premises, for similar, is actually the same license that had existed before, which was music throughout on house speakers, including the cafe and the upper two floors, acoustic, instrumental, vocal type of music, indoor entertainment only with no outdoor music permitted, and ambient music throughout the house speakers. And that's similar, the outdoors we were talking about. Across the street, Graydon House has that same restriction on outdoor music for their seating areas. So it's similar to what's across the street. So I'll leave it there.
Questions, comments? Okay, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. And is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonas.
Hey, I appreciate you guys taking the time, and I'm sorry I was late on the call there.
No problem.
No worries. Talk to you later.
All right, hopefully you guys had a great weekend. I appreciate your time.
Madam Chair, can we please go back to section 3, item number 4? I've
Yep.
got Eric Campbell. He's on the phone.
Okay, we're going back to Verizon. Eric?
Eric, you need to unmute. Eric, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Thank you. So
My
why don't you go
apologies.
ahead and review this?
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the Select Board. My name is Eric Campbell from Site Acquisitions LLC, and I'm here to represent Verizon Wireless concerning their 6 small cell attachment petitions that are before you today. These petitions are part of an ongoing effort with Verizon Wireless to improve coverage in the island of Nantucket. The last time Verizon was before the Select Board was in July of 2021, when 12 applications were before the board for similar attachments. Regarding pole selection, we go through a process where Verizon Wireless engineers identifies an area of need and provides them to us so we can walk the site and identify utility poles that meet the criteria set forth by National Grid. National Grid has standards that drastically reduce the number of viable poles due to existing attachments like transformers, fuses, resistors, primary junction poles, electric conduits, risers, etc. Once the pole has been identified as viable using these standards, Verizon applies to National Grid and Verizon to attach. Due to the limited number of utility poles that meet these standards, these types of installs on utility poles are very limited. Verizon pole attachments themselves, it's a small cell antenna that's at the top of the pole. It includes fiber optic cables, remote radio head units that are on the pole itself, conduits, and electric meter. No ground equipment is required, and all the Verizon attachments are located on the existing utility pole. Some of the benefits of these installations are users of Verizon, like families, public safety, contractors, businesses, and all better communicate with added coverage. There's been questions with regards to, well, I don't have Verizon service, but everyone benefits by someone having the service because they can use it on your behalf. And with regards to safety, the small cell equipment can be installed using standard commercially acceptable methods in accordance with all applicable federal, state, local laws, including the SEC Bulletin 65, which regulates antenna emissions, ANSI standards, and IEEE. All of the petitions that we have before you today, we do have National Grid licenses. And with that, I'm happy to take on any questions that you might have.
Any questions?
No, Madam Chair.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now we still have the National Grid. Do we
Yeah,
have?
I'm gonna go ahead and review those as
Okay.
best as I can, if you don't mind.
Okay, I'll open the public hearing on number 3. 22A Pleasant
Right.
Street.
So this is related to the previous application that you already heard for Verizon. This is to place the proper pole in the correct location and get services in place and allow this property, which has been subdivided, to just move the pole a little bit to allow the new property to have unburdened access. Oh,
Eric?
you're muted.
Sorry, any questions?
Erica, I believe that we've been, this is, as you
This
said
isn't the first
before.
time you've heard this.
Oh, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
there
we've
was some,
heard this.
yeah. Are you satisfied with
I am.
how this, okay.
Yeah.
Could- Madam Chair, could I trouble Erica to put the diagram up again,
Sure.
if you don't mind? Just want to remember how we talked about this. I could see it.
So this is the plan for National Grid. The one from Verizon might have been a little bit more correct. So the current pole right now was where the old, no, I can't remember. The pole is moving. So basically, because this lot here was subdivided. And so
Right.
now this property needs access, and right where the access is, the pole is. So they're just
Is
going to
the
move it
pole.
over.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
All those
Second.
in favor by, yeah, second. All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Yes, aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. Is there a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. Next up, we'll open the public hearing on number 5, 33 to 36 Pleasant Street.
So I am not completely familiar with this project, but it looks like it was reviewed by all the various departments, all noting that there's no issues. It's just to put new underground service in for 278 Pulpus Road. So do you want to see a plan? Do you want me to have these up?
I remember. Look. All right, go ahead.
So this would just be putting conduit in.
Right. Okay.
And sorry, I said the wrong address. This is the public hearing for 278 Pulpus.
Okay.
Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. And is there a motion to approve?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. And next up, we'll open the public hearing now for 33 to 36 Pleasant Street.
So this one is to install underground facilities, conduit, and 2 handholds near 33 and 36 Pleasant Street. So they would basically be handholds in the sidewalk and a crossing across the road.
Any questions?
No questions, Madam Chair.
Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. Next up, we
Oh,
will,
we just need a motion to approve.
oh, I'm sorry, motion, is there a motion to approve? Is
Motion to approve with departmental comments.
there a second?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. Next up, we will open the public hearing
Step lane.
for one step. Any
So
comments?
sure. So this is a petition that actually is for work that has already been done. We don't usually allow this, but because of the third sewer force main and the repaving project that we had on schedule, we wanted to get this work done earlier than the petition allowed, just so we wouldn't have to cut open brand new paved road. So this was done in accordance with all town specifications. It was to supply new underground service to Five Step Lane, which was impacted by the Veranda House fire. So we would recommend approval.
Any questions?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second? And is there a
Second.
all those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. Next up, we'll open the public hearing.
Madam Chair, I must take a 2-minute break.
Okay, well,
I have a
I'll-
call I absolutely must answer.
okay.
So we'll pause.
Okay, thank you for your patience.
Just have to wait for Dawn to step back. Dawn, we're ready when you are. Dawn, are you ready?
Is he back?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
that's all right. And thank you for your patience.
Okay, we're on the,
Item
I
7.
opened the public hearing, 11, pull 11 across Nobody Farm Road and onto Square Rigger Road.
So this petition is for National Grid. The majority of the petition is actually about Square Rigger Road, which is a private road, which you have no jurisdiction on. So you're only going to be worried about this highlighted section here, which is the pole 11 and the work that's going to install new conduits across the roadway.
Any questions? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So
So
moved,
moved.
Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Martha McNabb,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. Last up, we have
Walnut Road.
the public hearing for Wawinnet Road, Old Quidnet Milk Road.
Okay, so this is similar in nature. The majority of the work is within Old Quidnet Milk Route, which is a private road where you have no jurisdiction, but there's just this little bit here at the pole on Walwinnet Road on the shoulder. So that's what this petition is for, and we would recommend approval.
Okay, any questions?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Is there-
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Dixon,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously. And I think we're done. Motion to adjourn.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. Carries
Great.
unanimously.
Thank you. I'm going to have all these documents for you on the Wednesday night meeting to sign. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.